Hello students, good evening. Today we will study William Shakespeare's play As You Like It and its first part. As all of you know, William Shakespeare was one of the greatest dramatists of all age. He was the greatest, the wonderful. And As You Like It is one of his mature comedies. And the source of, as you know, Shakespeare never wrote his own story. He somewhere he derived the story. He took the material somewhere else, and then molded it according to his own fashion. So the story of this source of this story, as you like it, is Thomas Lowell's novel Rosalind or Euphrates' Golden Legacy. The novel was published in 1590, and this play it was published in about 1599. Okay, so we will study this play according to act and scene wise. The whole play has 5 acts, and all these acts are divided into scenes. So the first act and the first scene. So guys, the first act opens in the court. Okay, and Orlando laments to the old servant Adam that since the death of his father, Sir Roland de Bois, his elder brother Oliver has denied him the education and treatment due to his rank, and in Oliver's arrival, Orlando compelled him to demand his patrimony. Dismissing him, Oliver summons Charles the wrestler, and after Charles has recounted the stale news that Duke has been driven into exile in the forest of Arden by his younger brother Frederick, who retained the Duke's daughter Rosalind at court to keep his own daughter company. Oliver maligns Orlando, instructing Charles to be sure to kill him in the following day's wrestling tournament. Alone, Oliver reflects briefly on his recent envy of his de- diversely admired younger brother before leaving to encourage Orlando to enter the wrestling. As we see in the opening scene, this is the duel, the controversy between two brothers. Here, at one hand, Orlando and Oliver, and at the second hand, Duke Senior and Duke Frederick. Okay, so this was the first scene of this play. Now, act first, scene second. At court, in the second scene opening court, at court, Celia, the obstinate Duke's daughter, attempts to cheer up Rosalind. They are joined first by the jester Touchstone and then by the courtier Lebeau, who brings news of wrestling. Frederick and his court arrive to watch Charles wrestle against Orlando, whom the two princes endeavor in vain to dissuade from the contest. Cheered by Rosalind and Celia, Orlando defeats Charles. But when Frederick learns who his father was, he leaves in an ill temper without rewarding him. Instead, the cousins congratulate him, and Rosalind gives him her necklace, the chain of her. So Orlando, finding himself comically tongue-tied with love, Levi wants him to flee from Frederick's displeasure. This scene shows us that now there is a confrontation increases, and after Duke Senior, Orlando has to be flee from the place. Okay, now this scene third. Rosalind had just confined her own love for Orlando to Celia when the angry Frederick banishes her from his court. After his departure, Celia proposes them both flee to Arden together in present disguise. The Rosalind, agreeing, decides to dress as a man and call herself Ganymede, while Celia will become Elena. They leave to enlight Touchstone and make plans for their flight. So the third section, this third scene tells us that now both sisters are also leaving for the court. Okay, so for the forest. So this is the opening act, and this in this opening act we have seen, we have introduced the characters, which character, main character, or Orlando Orwell, and then both Duke brothers, then Celia and Rosaline. These are the, and of course Touchstone. So these are the major characters of this play, and we have introduced this theme of the play also. So I think the very first chapter you have understand. So okay, thank you. We will meet in the next session with our second